Good evening, judges, fellow students, and other guests. My name is Nicolas. To my right is Jennifer Liu, and on the far end is Yulin Ren, and we're here to present our business model for our collapsible, reusable, and environmentally friendly cup, the Flexicup. Now, this time last week, we were sitting on the ground floor of Auckland Library at Square's Cafe, desperately trying to brainstorm an idea that was both environmentally friendly and commercially sustainable. For 2 hours, we racked our brains, but to no avail. Discouraged, Yulin went up to go grab a cup of coffee. When he came back, the answer suddenly hit us. But before I get into that, I'd like to pose a question to the judging panel. How many of you drink coffee at establishments such as Starbucks, Esquire's, or Gloria Jean's? And if you do, what type of cup do you drink it in?
I've got a glass keep cup.
Damn.
But it's got plastic.
Yeah, probably paper cups.
Alright, well, paper cups, Mr. Judd isn't part of the problem, but disposable paper cups pose a huge problem environmentally, and Jennifer will now detail.
On average, daily coffee consumers who use just one paper disposable cup each day can create up to 20 kilograms of individual waste every year. This is due to the common misconception that paper cups are recyclable. However, in reality, the thin lining material used for installation and to make the paper cup waterproof prevents them from being processed with paper recycling. Another problem created is the carbon emissions that is resulted from the transportation of waste, especially for buyers overseas. Let's face it, a lot of New Zealanders enjoy their coffee, but we approximately consume over 40 million cups of disposable coffee per year, and this demonstrates how we really need a solution, as the current solutions in the market today are not very effective in reducing the use of disposable paper cups.
The current green options in the market have too many drawbacks, which discourage average consumers. As you can see on the pictures, ceramic mugs, you never see people carry them from their home to their workplace. Stainless steel bottles are designed to be portable, but they can be really hard to drink out of. And they also take up lots of space in the backpack. Also, despite the fact that chains such as Starbucks, Esquire's, and Gloria Jean's, they offer discounts in place for customers who bring their own reusable cups. Only 2% of the customers take advantage in this deal. It shows that for 98% of the customers, it doesn't worth the trouble of bringing their own cup, even if they can save 20 cents for each cup of coffee they purchase. Therefore, it is clear to us that there's a place in the market for our new product.
So, enter Flexicups. This is our solution to the problem at hand. It's a collapsible, compact cup, the exact details of which I'll get into soon, but it's our attempt to leverage an existing niche, that of the daily coffee consumer. It's light and convenient to carry around, as you can see the dimensions there, and it contracts into a fraction of its original size. We've intended for the product to be made out of silicone rubber, and we chose this material because it's considered safe by the American Food and Drugs Administration. It's eco-friendly because it breaks down easily in the environment. It's recyclable, and it has a heat resistance of between -100 to 300 degrees Celsius. So it's quite versatile for even extreme temperatures, and therefore ideal for a product that will be holding hot liquid. The lid will be made of polypropylene, which is biodegradable, and it will be leak-proof because it will be screwed onto the rest of the product. It's easy to disassemble, and it's safe for use in the microwave or in a dishwasher, so it's been designed with convenience in mind. Here is a closer view of the lid. As you can see, the mouthpiece is quite similar to that of a disposable paper cup, so the transition from drinking one to another isn't different or drastic. And we also have a latch which you can push over the mouthpiece when you're not drinking from it to ensure that it's leak-proof and for hygienic purposes. And that's just an image of the bottom of the cup once it's been contracted into a small disc. We know that our product is feasible because there are existing products on the market today, such as this collapsible dog bowl that you can buy off AliExpress for less than $3 a pop, that use the same technology that we're looking to implement in our design. We're merely improving on the design and targeting a more specific niche. So how it works is that the larger version contracts into that small size using that silicone rubber mold.
In order to measure the potential success of Flexicups, we decided to conduct a survey on coffee consumers to introduce our product to them and gain an idea of how interested they will be in it. We surveyed 50 coffee consumers in the Esquire's Cafe, our niche market. We showed them the digital renderings of our design, and along with an explanation of how it works. We found that 43 out of 50 coffee consumers were enthusiastic about our design and said that they would be willing to switch from paper cups to Flexicups for a change, while the remaining 7 consumers remained skeptical about the cost. However, after we mentioned that companies such as Esquire's and Starbucks offer discounts to those who bring in their own reusable cups, 4 out of the 7 remaining consumers who were initially skeptical changed their minds, while the other 3 preferred to keep their habits unchanged. So in the end, we found that 47 out of 50 coffee consumers were fully supportive of the Flexicups. They praised our idea of an eco-friendly cup, and some were very enthusiastic by the fact that the Flexicups can help them save money in the long run.
The Flexicup will come in a size of 475 millimeters, a capacity which is large enough for all different cup sizes like Starbucks, Esquire's, and Glory Jeans. We intend to sell each cup for $10, which is based on a financial valuation we were able to get from a contact in Chinese factory. He quoted us the production cost of $2.50 per cup, including the importation fee, as long as we order at least 250 units. Therefore, with the seed capital of $1,500, we put $1,000 forward towards producing 400 units. We use the rest of the money for marketing purposes, such as creating a website, advertising newspaper, and maintaining a presence on social media sites such as Facebook or Instagram. Initially, we intend to partner with Esquire Cafe to distribute our Flexicups in their stores, as it has more than 35 locations nationwide. We approached one of the managers at Esquire Cafe, and he was extremely excited about selling our cups in their stores, as it would help promote an environmentally friendly image for them, as long as the cups will have Esquire's logos on them. We then intend to expand our venture through crowdfunding platforms such as Indiegogo or Kickstarter. We pitch our idea online with the benefit of already having a successful study in New Zealand. And then anyone can put money into it with the future reward. The future reward will come in form of the first batch produced Flexicups with the exact number dependent on their contribution size. We hope to raise $20,000 to cover the cost of 8,000 units production and importation fees.
Now, we intend to measure our success in a variety of ways. First off, we'll look at how many coffee shops, chains, and cafes that we partner with actually adopt this idea. As we mentioned before, we've already approached the manager of Esquire's Cafes, but in the long run, we hope for our Flexicups to be a ubiquitous product in New Zealand, and we recognize that the challenge exists in introducing Flexicups to the small standalone cafes that are all throughout New Zealand, and especially in Auckland. But we recognize that this is a barrier that we must crack in order to become the product that we want Flexicups to be. So we'll collect data from the shops to measure our environmental impact. Essentially, the number of coffees that are bought with a product will be equal to the number of disposable paper cups that we save. If 10,000 daily coffee consumers adopt our product, we will save over 3 million disposable paper cups every year in New Zealand. We will also personally verify this information by going to random shops around Auckland and seeing how many people actually use our product every day. We hope to register a positive increasing trend over a specific time period.
In conclusion, we believe that Flexicups are an eco-friendly, convenient, and cheaper option, which appeals to a niche market where our product is in need. Even if we do not win this competition, we still intend to produce Flexicups by funding it through Indiegogo, because from our market research, we are confident to say that this is a successful business model. On a more important note, we do hope that Flexicups can make paper disposable cups
You're out of time.
a thing of the past. Just give me 10 seconds. And yeah.
Yep. Okay. That concludes our presentation, and we're happy to take any questions that judges might have.
We'll now have 10 minutes maximum of questions with the judges.
Fantastic presentation, and made me feel guilty as a paper cup user. But I just did engineering. Oh, thank you. Just wondering, as an engineering question, how far along the track you've got with the manufacturing? Can you do such a small run at such low costs to get started? I wonder if you've been in contact with any manufacturers, or what their procedure looks like for design and dyes and so on.
As Yulin mentioned, we have already contacted a Chinese factory, and they gave us those financial valuations that we based our prices on. If we go back to the slide, Yulin can run through it again if you want to. Yeah, that's my big
You know what? I'll believe you. Sorry,
I had a similar question. But when you talk to them, did you talk about making a mould? Because there's a mould that would have to be made to then produce that silicon piece.
Yeah. And then it's only one size, so that mold would then be used to reproduce however many units that we're looking at. So the initial run would be 400 units, but then as we mentioned, we'd like to expand. That's with the seed capital that we would potentially acquire from this competition, but then through crowdfunding would produce more units.
Yeah, I had similar concerns about, because the most expensive cup ever to produce would be the first one, because the tooling, the setup, all that. But I was interested, you made a point about the difficulty of addressing all these little cafes. There's literally probably thousands of them out there. What's the supply chain though? You don't need to go to the cafe. Where do they buy their cups? Because have you looked at the supply chain existing into those cafes? Because that to me would be where you'd want to market as well.
We haven't looked at that yet, but we would personally approach them in the short term, and then would hope that the benefits for them would be an environmentally friendly image that they acquire, and I'm sure that they recognize the cost on the environment that they currently have. And in the long run, once our products become more visible, we have a higher profile for a company, then we're hoping that cafes will approach us, and it will become such a staple in the community that a cafe would be unique if it didn't have one of our cups.
Have you analysed the risk of that first run coming back with some problem with it? Because we've had some stuff come out of China before for something that we were doing, and it wasn't right, and it ended up costing us a lot more. That was just What would you do if it came back and it wasn't quite right?
Well, I think we'd have to solve the problem at the first step, and actually personally go to that factory, which is something that we could look at during the holidays if this did eventuate, and then we would work with them in the actual production process, so we would realize if there was a problem from the start rather than at the end when there's nothing we can do and the money's been spent already.
I just wonder if, look at the barriers to people using more keep cups. Is it purely a matter of weight, or are there other barriers that need to be overcome? I just wonder, if there's any other reasons that have come up that you might be able to overcome through marketing or other sort of persuasions.
As in why people don't already use reusable cups?
Yeah.
Well, some people are unaware of the system in place where you can take your reusable cups to cafes. Well, it's pretty inconvenient to take your own cup. Not only does it take a lot of space, but it's also quite heavy to carry to cafes when you're going out with your friends. Yeah.
Another thing, I think the most telling stat is Starbucks have been running this discount thing since 1985, I think, so good 30 years. But as Yulin mentioned, only 2% of customers currently actually take advantage of this deal. And I think the main reason would be inconvenience. That'd be the reason why I wouldn't carry a bottle around. And also cleaning, because as you mentioned, our product is safe for a dishwasher. The material is silicone rubber. But if you have, say, a water bottle or a steel thermos, it might be a bit more difficult to actually clean it on a daily basis.
Yep, well, we're good.
You want to drink lots of coffee?
I've been told not to by my mother.